Well, hello and welcome to Storytime Impostors, where we sit down, crack open a childhood book, and narrate the story with a celebrity impression. This is Storytime Impostors.
George and Martha. Written and illustrated by James Marshall. For George and Cecile. 5 stories about 2 great friends. Story number 1, Split Pea Soup. Martha was very fond of making split pea soup. Sometimes she made it all day long. Pots and pots of split pea soup. If there was one thing that George was not fond of, it was split pea soup. As a matter of fact, George hated split pea soup more than anything else in the world. But it was so hard to tell Martha. One day, after George had eaten 10 bowls of Martha's soup, he said to himself,
I just can't stand another bowl, not even another spoonful.
So while Martha was in the kitchen, George carefully poured the rest of his soup into his loafers under the table.
Now she'll think I've eaten it.
But Martha was watching from the kitchen.
How do you expect to walk home with your loafers full of split pea soup?
Oh dear, you saw me?
And why didn't you tell me that you hate my split pea soup?
I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
That's silly. Friends should always tell each other the truth. As a matter of fact, I don't like split pea soup very much myself. I only like to make it. From now on, you'll never have to eat that awful soup again.
What a relief.
Would you like some chocolate chip cookies instead?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Then you shall have them.
Story number 2, The Flying Machine.
I'm gonna be the first of my species to fly.
Then why aren't you flying? It seems to me that you are still on the ground.
You're right. I don't seem to be going anywhere at all.
Maybe the basket is too heavy.
Yes, I think you're right again. Maybe if I climb out, the basket will be lighter. Oh dear! Now what have I done? There goes my flying machine.
That's all right. I would rather have you down here with me.
Story number 3, The Tub. George was fond of peeking in windows. One day, George peeked in on Martha.
We are friends, but there is such a thing as privacy.
He never did that again. Story number 4, The Mirror.
How I love to look at myself in the mirror.
Every chance she got, Martha looked at herself in the mirror. Sometimes Martha even woke up during the night to look at herself.
This is fun.
But George was tired of watching Martha look at herself in the mirror. One day, George pasted a silly picture he had drawn of Martha onto the mirror. What a scare it gave Martha.
Oh dear! What has happened to me?
That's what happens when you look at yourself too much in the mirror.
Then I won't do it ever again.
And she didn't. The last story. The Tooth. One day when George was skating to Martha's house, he tripped and fell. And he broke off his right front tooth. His favorite tooth, too. When he got to Martha's, George cried his eyes out.
Oh dear me, I look so funny without my favorite tooth.
There.
The next day, George went to the dentist. The dentist replaced George's missing tooth with a lovely gold one. When Martha saw George's lovely new golden tooth, she was very happy.
George, you look so handsome and distinguished with your new tooth.
And George was happy too.
That's what friends are for. They always look on the bright side, and they always know how to cheer you up.
But they also tell you the truth.
And that will do it for this episode of Storytime Impostors, a World 7 Productions. We would like to thank the voice talent of Kelly Ellis and Travis Arrasmith. To find this book, look in the link below. You can also find us on YouTube for a visual. For more audio, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and whatever podcatcher you use. We want to thank all you for listening, and please come back and join in on another story from Storytime Impostors.